I always say never too high with the ups and never too low with the downs. If the kit man don't turn up, we're all This become a special place for me. I appreciated what you must have felt when you come out of the league. To get back into the Football League was probably everything you would have hoped for. I don't know if any of you would have thought that you would get into the Premier League. 5, 10, 15 years' time, someone might make a film about it, because it's that big a thing. In my opinion, I don't think it'll ever happen again. And to have one soppy bloke called Penny Ruddock be able to go in the way that I'm very lucky, because I've got so many memories, you know, to look back on as I get older to keep me happy. And all I ain't quite gone through that, but you've got over bigger things than that, and you'll get over what you're going through now.
I believe our supporters are the best supporters in the country.
I love this town. I love this town. I love this town. You know what I love about this town is actually you. Everyone in it has got this massive soul.
We're Luton people, and that's what we care about.
Evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks very much for attending an evening with John Steele, brought to you by the Luton Town Supporters Trust. Round of applause for. It's an honour to sit up here alongside you. Thanks so much for giving us your time this evening. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, I really appreciate you inviting me, and it's never hard to come back to Luton. I had a fantastic time here. And to see so many people again here. I've been to a few games, but as I say, it's always a pleasure to come back here.
Going to get your sort of thoughts on what's going on at the minute a little bit later, but you know, exactly. Let's start off with a more positive outlook. Though the conference winning season, I mean, it was a season that many people in here will always remember. Was coming up to 11 years to that special afternoon where we lifted the conference trophy against Forest Green. And everything that's gone on between it, you know, those of you that are on social media, I'm sure you get reminders every day of great games that happened in that season. But the first thing I'd like to ask you, John, is obviously we ended up winning the conference by quite a distance. But at the start of the season, when you took the team to Southport for that first game, how confident were you that what was about to happen would happen?
It's difficult, you know. I really always have had great belief in myself. That's not me trying to be flash, because I'm not like that. I really always believe that what I'm doing is the right thing to do and the right way of doing it. It isn't always correct, but I always believe it. And when I came to Luton, I left the club that I support to great respect. I support Dagenham, I support West Ham. As a kid, and when the opportunity came for me to come here, I did ask a few people. I wasn't sure, and I'll be honest, of the people I spoke to, respected people, someone very close to his club, by the way, as well. No one really told me to do it. They said, well, it's a bit of a poison chalice, expectations are high, then this, that. And this is a God's truth. That's the reason I come, because people thought I couldn't do it, and I knew I could. Honestly, and that's what I thought. I knew I could. I wouldn't say that I set out going, I'm going to win the league this season. And I said this to the club when I come, I think I can do it. But it's not going to be a quick fix, because I have a way of doing it. I've always worked reasonably the same way, and touch wood, it has honestly never let me down. I think the clubs I've managed and been to have always reached the potential that they would expect to reach. I spent obviously a lot of time at Dagenham, taking a small club, that is a small club, a special club by the way, from the National League to Div 2 and to Div 1. Will never leave me. That was special. Going back a few years to Maidstone, to winning the league, they're all special moments. But coming here, I just felt that this could be. I knew the story of Luton, and people told me the story of Luton and reminded me of the story of Luton, and having points taken off and getting back in, and everyone hated the Football League and used to sing nasty songs about it.
That's not changed, John. Believe me, that's not changed. If anything, they've got nastier.
And gradually I found myself singing them to myself. But I just felt if I could do that, what I think, and I thought, no, I'm going to do this. When we went to Southport, first game of the season, which wasn't great, and we weren't great for a few games, but I'm going to be honest, I really thought we'd win the league. I really did. I knew I had the players that I wanted, barring one that gradually we got when we brought Paul Benson in. I could have brought someone else in, but I waited to get Paul Benson for two reasons. He was a proper centre forward, and he knew me, he'd played for me, and I knew what he could bring to the team. And I just felt it would be a matter of time before it clicked into gear. And as with other teams, I knew when it clicked into gear, we would take some beating. That's how I really felt. But as I said, it might have taken us till Christmas to click in, and we might not have won the league. If we hadn't, I think we'd have run away with it the following year. And along the way, things happened, and sometimes people say, do you think you should do this? Do you think that maybe we've got to do that? But I knew exactly what I wanted, and I knew exactly how to work to get it. And touch wood, it worked. Worked for me, but the greatest thing always works for you. This is, I always say managers, we're just brought in to look after the football team. This is your club, and honestly, the satisfaction of seeing so many of you people at the reception on the Sunday after we won the league was a highlight of my life. It really was.
You mentioned that it was an all-plain sailing at the start. It changed at Wrexham away, didn't it? We were pretty ordinary, let's be honest, on that Friday night. But then that was the start of that unbeaten run. Did something change from within that night?
Yeah. I knew that I had the players. I was a bit fortunate that I came in before the end of the season, so I could sort out the players that I thought could do what I wanted and the players that couldn't. So I was a bit fortunate there. And I just felt it might take players that are used to playing a certain way a bit of time to get used to what we're asking. So I was ready for that. And when we finished the game at Wrexham, I remember doing after the game chat with somebody saying, I think I've seen something that I believe if I change, it's going to make a difference. And it was a positional change of Luke Gutteridge. Of playing with a loose player off the front, because we was getting into the right areas. We had someone ready to play the right pass to get our movements going, and touch wood, it happened straight away. As soon as I changed it, things changed, and I think we went on a great run. But I think the best teams that haven't always got to play great, and I just felt. I used to call it magic moments. We would have magic moments in games. We would score 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 goals in 20 minutes. And that's all because the players knew exactly what to do. Everyone knew their job, and they get so confident in it. They score again. And watching it, to be honest, I used to love watching us play. I loved watching us play. And when I used to go home, and I used to get the game sent to me as well to watch it back, and I used to bore myself watching it again because I just used to love how we played, and it wasn't the winning of it; it was the most biggest unbeaten run the league had ever had. 100 goals, 100 points, all them things just made everything just gel together to make it an extra special season, and. Well, it was wonderful, wasn't it? It was just a great time. But just on to finish it off, and this is 100%. It's not because I'm here with yous. It was for yous that I just had a feeling that yous people deserved this, and I was delighted to be the person that was able to help you, because I didn't do it on my own. I had fantastic staff with me. We had, after a little bit of one or two things with supporters, we got that support. No, listen, we were all supporters. I'm a supporter of Dagenham and West Ham, and I get the ump when things don't look good. But once we got the support together, we were just unstoppable. And everybody, you know, everybody has a part to play. I always say that, you know, football isn't just one on the pitch. It appears to be one on the pitch, but it's not. It's one on the training ground. It's one in the gym. It's one that all different places where everybody has a part to play, and no part is any bigger than the other. I'm going to bore you with a quick story, if I may. And
Please do, yeah.
Which got me to this. Sorry about this, but many years ago, being a West Ham supporter, I had some pals that played for West Ham, Frank Lampard, Roddy Boyce. I used to know John Lyle. I used to go over there now and again. I was just a young manager then. And I was in John Lyle's office one day, and someone said something. He said, "No, I won't be in tomorrow." He said, "All Monday." He said, "I've got to do this." And I went, "Does that make a difference when you're not here, John?" I said, "You're a manager." He went, "No. If I don't do it," he said, "Eddie Bailey's here. Eddie's been here years. He knows exactly what to do." He says, "So no problems there." He said, "And Ronnie Boyce," he said, if Eddie's not here, Ronnie Boyce, he's been here, played here, done this one. And he'll know exactly. He know exactly what to do." He said, "And you've got Ronnie that does all the changing rooms. He's been here." He said, "And he can take all the sessions. He knows exactly what to do." He said, "So when he comes back, being important, let me tell you about what's important." He said, "If the ladies, can I use a swear word?" He went, if the kit man don't turn up, we're all no one knows where the key is. No one knows where the key is. No one can get in there if you won't give no one a key. So if the kit man don't turn up, we can't do nothing. And you know what? He stayed with me. How important it is the people that do the food for the players, people that clean the changing rooms, and so things are done properly. Everyone plays a part. And I remember saying at the end of that season that, well done the players, well done the staff, well done me, but well done everybody. Everyone's a vital component of a football club, and although people don't see it, I think the people that do the jobs really do see behind the scenes and how important it is that everybody does the job.
Was there a game in that unbeaten run where you thought, yeah, we're definitely going to win the league now? For me, it's when we went to Alfredton just before Christmas, 4-0 up after 20 minutes or something like that. I think they were third or fourth at the time, going really well. Cambridge weren't playing that day. I remember it vividly. They were involved in the cup, but we closed the gap on them. And we absolutely steamrolled them. And I thought on that day, that was the day that it turned for us in terms of winning the title.
Excuse me. Yeah, it was. I thought that was an exceptional performance where we looked better than good. So I wouldn't say that I went on going to say, yeah, we're winning now. I'm not saying I wasn't confident we'd win it, but I don't think I actually said it. I knew when we beat Cambridge there was no way that we was ever going to get caught. I knew there's no way that we were ever going to get caught from that game. Because we equalised so late. Yeah. And I think that actually deflated them a little bit. It could have been 1-1 the other way and they scored late, and that would have given them a little bit. But I think we just destroyed everything. And when I went home that day, I actually went home and I couldn't sleep. It's an evening out. I couldn't sleep because I knew then that we would have to collapse, and we were too good to collapse. And even if we did collapse, I wasn't sure they could catch us then.
And that night was kind of a testament to the squad strength, really, wasn't it? You brought Cameron McGeehan off the bench that night. You brought Mark Cullen off the bench that night. One hands down for the other to score. And that's what that team did, didn't it? Even when it was getting pushed and it wasn't winning games, it went right to the very end. And it turned defeats into draws, draws into wins. And eventually it all added up to that fantastic season that we had.
Yeah, I think that, you know, I think we had players that can cater for all different things. I mean, I look back and I can't really explain it to myself sometimes. But some games we had 3 midfield players: Paddy Ruddock, Matt Robinson, and Cameron McGeehan. I think the oldest one was 20. But they could all run, they could challenge, they all had enthusiasm. And without those characters, you can't win anything. You've got to have ability. Ability alone is never enough. And I remember a game here, I think it was against Hereford, where every time we attacked, I thought we was going to score. Seriously, I think we won 6, was it 6 or 7? But we got to a stage where every time we got in there, I thought, because we was just running past them, the power of our players. We had good changes in the team. When you think of Cully, when Cully sometimes couldn't get in the team, we had Andre and Paul Benson, and we had Lawless. You know, we had good attacking players and strong midfield players. Jonathan Smith, so underrated by lots of people, but we had so much energy to if we lost the ball, we won it back. We used to have this thing about winning a ball back in so many seconds if we lose it. Early on in the season, it wasn't quite getting to where we hoped we would get to get the ball back, but gradually it just fell into place, and I just felt that, you know, it was going to be our time. I just felt it. I did. I felt it for quite some time, but actually going home, we've got this, I would say.
And then, of course, a few weeks later, Cambridge lost when we wasn't playing, and we had the celebration.
Was good.
Absolutely brilliant. And then, of course, that following Saturday, we was at Welling. Place was full of Luton fans, absolutely packed. Brilliant afternoon. And then it came down to Easter Monday, didn't it? Forest Green at home, the day that we got the trophy, the day that the non-league hell, for the want of a better word, was ended.
Got beat by Braintree, didn't we?
We did. Skipped over that, though. The Forest Green day was just brilliant. Sitting in the Kenilworth End is a day that I'll never, ever forget. I'm sure everyone here who was here that day will never forget it either. But as the man who led us to that, what did it mean? What did all of that celebration, the scenes and everything, the game of football itself was brilliant as well. What did that mean to you?
Yeah, I mean, the realization that you've won the league, and the celebrations of supporters, you know, they're just special. They're special moments. You know, you go through your life, for all of us, not just football. And you can think of special moments. I know, like for mums and dads, when the children are born, or when your daughter gets married, and all that sort of stuff. They're all special moments that you never forget. And, you know, it's a moment that will never leave me. I can actually remember things that happened on that day. I can remember behind me someone moaning about the way we were playing in the first half. I can. I won't tell you what I said to him. I thought we said, on the league, and it's moaning about it. Anyway, it's another story. But I can remember a celebration, one of my granddaughters, and I still have it on my phone, come on the pitch for the thing around, and I gave it to her not that long ago, actually. And just special things. I can look back and remember who I spoke to and some of the things that I said, and it will stay with me, as I'm sure that they will stay with supporters here, like it did when you got in the Premier League. You know, it's just special. And when people ask me about it, I've been lucky I've won the National League 3 times. So I've been lucky, and everyone's got a special part of it. So I have been lucky, but I always say that it's great that whoever you are, you can look back at a time and think, how good was that? And I look back at that time here, we've used fantastic supporters, fantastic players. And with David at the back there, honestly, I was fantastically backed by the board of directors here. Really, really was. And to give all, like me, the players, the supporters, the directors, that special moment, it never leaves you. It doesn't. It never, ever leaves you. And sometimes you're doing something that isn't even involved with this club, and something happens, and it sparks a memory of where you were at that time at Luton, what happened at that time.
Had your mum got another plaque on that one?
Yes. Yes. Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Well, boy.
Oh.
That got us back into the Football League, John. One of the many good things this football club did was invite you to Wembley 2 years ago, because you were the man that started that journey. What did that mean to you that 10 years on almost, that the club still thought enough of you to invite you to the next truly, truly great day that this club had, the playoff final?
Yeah, obviously it was an unbelievable thing for the club to do. It really was. You know, I said the club don't owe me anything. I come here to do a job that they wanted to be done, and touch wood, I was able to do that job, and that was brilliant. So to be invited along to that special occasion, me and my son, me and Robert, who's the bar up there, was a special day for both of us. A special day to see the team win. Special day for this club to have made the fantastic journey from the National League to the Premier League, which in my opinion, I don't think it'll ever happen again. I really don't. I think that what you've achieved is just incredible. In 5, 10, 15 years' time, someone might write even make a film about it, because it's that big a thing. And to have one soppy bloke called Penny Ruddock be able to go in the way that and you know what? I can remember the first day he come in. I'd seen him training a couple of times at West Ham. I quite liked him, and when I can remember when he come in with his mum, and Penny spoke once, his mum spoke forever. If he comes here, will you look after my son? I said, if he comes here, I'll make sure I speak to him every day and ask him if he's all right. She said he needs a click now and again. But what is it? To do that, for me, as I say, just to be part of that journey, and I'm honest when I say only a part, trust me, only a part, but a part. I'm very lucky because I've got so many memories, you know, to look back on as I get older, to keep me happy, to keep me happy. And I'm not saying every Saturday at 6 o'clock, but by and large, the Saturday at 6 o'clock, and sometimes on a Tuesday at 9:30, 10:15. West Ham, Dagenham, Luton. Oh no, that's my three. This become a special place for me because being a football supporter as well as a manager, I appreciated what you must have felt when you come out of the league from not on the pitch stuff. And you know, if someone asked my opinion, I don't know the full story, I would say no, I don't think teams should be thrown out of the league for things that they're not under their control, because you know what, owners, and I say this with great respect, owners, managers, that's all we are. We ain't supporters. You know, what managers manage teams they support? Very few. But it's your club, and for you to have been punished the way you were, I didn't agree with at all, and that's why it gave me the extra edge, if you like, to say we need to get ourselves together and do this, because I think it'll stay with all of us, all that team. You know, I speak to a lot of those players, still do, and they all talk about right and wrong, and all talking about special moments in their careers. And as I said, it has affected everybody that was probably involved in that season. For you to get back into the Football League was probably everything you would have hoped for. I don't know if any of you would have thought that you would get into the Premier League. Seriously, I don't. The fact you did is a compliment to everybody involved in there. And all right, ain't quite gone through all of that. But you've got over bigger things in there, and you'll get over what you're going through now. You will do, because you care. Sorry? Listen, it's football, you know, it's ups and downs, and I always say never too high with the ups and never too low with the downs. Treat them both the same, both imposters. And gradually you'll find Luton at the level that you honestly believe and should be at, because you're a fantastic football club with fantastic support. I can't ask for more than that.
I remember in the lead up to that playoff line, the club had a media day in this very room, and you and Pelly Ruddock were together for the first time since you left, and it was just I was one of the honest journalists waiting to do something else, and it was just a really special moment that you and him shared, and I'm so glad that that you were a part of all of that. I really, really was. That team is still influencing our club today. Benno is heading up the academy.
I know, I speak to him pretty regularly, boys.
Alex Lawless, the under-21 manager. Really, Henry's recently come in as coach of the academy as well. And I can't flick on my television without seeing one of your former players playing in the game. Last night, I put Rotherham Wincombe on. There's Ellie Rodgers and Pansy playing on. The other week, I saw Cameron McGeehan scoring for Northampton. No. And this is like 11 years on. It must give you so much pleasure and pride seeing these guys go on to still do great things in the game a decade on.
I think that because one of my things was always like young, hungry players, which is probably why we ended up. I know Matt was here before I come, but Cameron coming here, Pelly coming here, Jack Marriott came here as a young one. Who else did I? Sorry, Elliot came. Yeah, his dad made me brilliant, by the way, Rob.
Potsy as well.
Potsy. I still see Potsy, and I'm quite close to his dad. And I just feel that that group of young, hungry, ambitious players can take you a long way. And they all move on at different times, and they're all have had terrific careers. And it's part of the job that I think makes it really enjoyable when you're not as involved as you were, like myself, that I can perhaps go around and see games now, and I see some of my old players playing and playing well, and playing well, and nothing better than seeing them fulfil the potential that you hope they would do.
There was one person in that team in particular that sort of got cold stays with the fans, Steve McNulty. He was here before you arrived, but it was behind him. When you walked in and saw us play at Braintree that first afternoon before you actually fully took over and you saw Steve, I mean, what's your instant reactions there? Because, as an opposition fan, you're thinking, what's going on here? But when he's your player, you know exactly how good he is.
I had seen Steve play before. I had... I wouldn't say I was a fan. I wouldn't say that I was a fan. And I came to the Braintree game with Terry Harris. And true story, we got in the car afterwards. I said, ring Dagenham, Terry's coming back. He was unbelievable. Macca was, what I liked about him, he was a man. He never let anybody get away with anything. Don't care what it was. If someone come in and something wasn't right, he'd be on. I got into a situation at half time. I'm not going in straight away. I used to stay outside the dressing room, or sometimes just sit on the bench when we was away and go in after about 5 minutes. And when I got in there, everything was done. You sorted everyone out. And I could, when you can feel the emotion somewhere. You could walk in and you knew something had gone on. And the blood. But he was self-critical as well. Just because I'm playing Latos, I don't mean to say you should. And it makes a tosser, and he's a tosser. and he was, you know what? He was the heartbeat of the team. He was a fantastic leader. He was a terrific player. people used to say to me, yeah, no pace, haven't it? Has he? I've gone, try beating him. Try beating him. I said, you try beating him. And he was, without a doubt, the heartbeat of the team. I think we were, I'm not going to say lucky, because I'll be honest, I'm not a person who believes in luck. I think the harder you work, the more things go for you. I don't really believe in that. But I think that having Macca, Ronnie Henry, Luke Gutteridge and Paul Benson, 4 men, leaders that Benno would sort out what was not getting the ball in the box quick enough, get the ball in the box quick enough. Gut saying, get the ball moving midfield a bit better. Macca and Ronnie going, hey, a bit tighter, and the backs get tighter, get closer to each other. No gaps. Keep the distance. They managed the game on the pitch, you know, they did. And I just felt that Macca was a catalyst for lots of good things that were achieved that year. I really do.
You people weren't bad either, was he?
Really, I mean, I gave Tyler his debut at Peterborough when I managed Peterborough. He was, I think, 17. And goalkeeper was injured. And I had another goalkeeper, excuse me, more experienced than that, but I played Tyler. And he was terrific. He was terrific for me at Peterborough. And when I first came here, him being here made me realise that I hadn't got to mess about with goalkeepers. We had a couple, and I ended up bringing a boy called Elliot Justin here, who's done unbelievably well. He's left David, done unbelievable, done fantastic there, and done okay for us here. But Charles was the kid. Yeah, he was a true professional, true professional, and once again, he's a player that should be, remembered fondly here, because he was here for a while, wasn't he? And saw some of the not so good moments, and so he deserved his moment in the sun without a doubt.
Is there a place in the modern game for a Stephen McNulty, or has the game just moved on now? Would he still be accepted?
100%. You know, sometimes players are labelled wrongly sometimes, but they're labelled. I think that you can cut away some of them. What Macca was a winner. He was a winner. He had a winning attitude. He knew how to play the game. I'm talking about the levels now. He's never going to play in the Premier League. Of course he isn't. But the maximum level that he can play, which I would have thought, to be honest, would be Div 1, Div 2. He'd be playing there and be top man without any doubt whatsoever. He just knew how to play that position, but he knew how to organise people that were playing around him to play their position, and that's a massive thing, you know. It really is. It's a massive thing to have. People talk about there's no leaders now in football, and football's gone soft because of academies and that is true to a certain extent. To be honest, it is true. Like sometimes you take players on loan. We took the boy Bim from here, who's a lovely lad, by the way, and he didn't fall into this category, but I won't name the player. We took a player who's a decent player now on loan, one of my former clubs, and he wanted everything done for him every day. Who does this? Who does that? Who does this? And I say, you do. You do it. Go on. He goes, yeah, but when I was at so-and-so, I go, hold on. You ain't at so-and-so now, you're here. You've got to be one of us. We ain't going to be one of you. 20 people are not going to change for you. You've got to change for that. And training grounds is a bit hard. The pitch is a bit hard, isn't it? All a bit. That's not blaming him. That's blaming the upbringing he's probably been given. So, yeah, a bit difficult sometimes. But a lot of these players, a lot of these young players, I went when I was here. Ugo Ekiog, who was the reserve team manager at Tottenham, who was a friend of mine, and we loaned a player from Tottenham, a winger, England under-18 international. Can't remember his name.
Nathan Adua, wasn't it?
Nathan Adua, well done. Nathan Adua. And he was a lovely lad, wasn't he? He was a lovely, lovely boy, by the way. So anyway, we loaned him, and Hugo rings me up one day and says, John, he says, any chance of coming over and having a chat with our under 23 players, anyone who's under 23? He went, tell them a bit about the real world. He said, because Nathan comes in now and again when he's not training with you. He says Wednesday off, but he comes in here and everyone asks him what it's like there, and he tells them different things. He says, but can you come in and tell them? Oh, you know, all right, I'll come. I went over with Hack, who worked with me and Terry. And we went in this room, there's all these blokes sitting there, all these boys sitting there. And I said to, and Hugo said to me, he said to them, all these are all internationals at either schoolboy level, under 18s, under 19s, everyone in the area is an international player. And he said, none of them's ever going to play in the first team. That's what I told him. None of them got any chance. So at first thing I said to him is like, so all you who like Tottenham people, it's your club and that. So how many of you feel like you're near the stage you can play in the first team? Every hand went up, seriously. Every single hand went up. There was one player there afterwards that Hugo said to me, John, that one, they said, so he might, but only if we get really bad injuries, but no one else has got any chance. And what he said to me, he said, they always ask him what Harry is at Luton, and he was 6'1", 6'1", and he went, well, it's really weird, he said, because when the other team have a corner, the manager said to me, once we had come back, stand on the near post, and if that ball comes in, I've got to challenge and head it. He said, and all the boys went to him. He didn't, did he? He did. He did. He went, and the first ball coming, he's gone over my head, and the other one's coming. He said, I've headed it. And they went, no, you didn't. You headed it. He went, yeah. He went, well, you have to head the ball. He went, yeah. And Hugo went, the manager here now, and this is my thing, said, we don't do no heading. We don't do no heading practice. We don't do heading in training. We don't, no one. He went, so heading the ball's foreign to him. He wouldn't have a club. And I was shocked. I love the ball.
It is, yeah. I mean, kind of goes to show really why that maybe they're struggling right now, doesn't it? Speaking of struggling, John, obviously this hasn't been the season that we've wanted on the pitch. You know, we find ourselves much lower down the championship table than many of us expected, and certainly that we wanted. But you followed the club this season. What have you made of this season? It's been a tough one on the pitch.
Yeah, and you know, I think sometimes you can get into a situation where the euphoria of getting in the Premier League, and to be honest, because something so close to staying in it, to staying in it, I think can have a difficult effect on people's mentality. And maybe your season never started when your season should have done. It probably started on a low. And I don't, it's really, honestly, so difficult to not be there every day you see him, but I had come to get a really good relationship with Rob. I did. And still do have, and I speak to Mick reasonably often. I do. And I think the same goes for them. No one can put their finger on it. It's really difficult because Sheffield United come down as well out there. Well, some of you may or may not know, I am as close to Chris Wilder as probably any other friend I've got. I've known Chris for years and years and years. And when I talk to him how well they're doing, it makes me a little bit low that Luton are not doing as well as they're doing, because they're doing brilliant. But I think they were always going down where Luton might have just stayed up, and I just think it shows, you know, players are, you know, difficult to pick themselves up sometimes, and you know, you just hope that as time goes on they pick themselves up and go. And unfortunately, it meant in Rob leaving, who is a terrific man who done a terrific job, but football's football. We all know that when you don't win enough games, it's time to go. Doesn't make you the worst manager in the world, The same as if you get success, it don't make you the best manager in the world. It just makes you a manager that's done a good job at a certain time. But like all yous, I have my fingers crossed when I put my phone on to see how the results have gone. And I'm disappointed when it hasn't been a favourable result. But knowing football, I think there's teams in this league, and I think Luton is one of them. And I don't see, obviously, much of Luton, but why can't you win 2, 3, 4, 5 games on the trot if you get yourself into a group? Why not? Someone will. Someone will. And I'm really hoping it's Luton. I'm really hoping it's Luton.
John, you mentioned earlier that we've overcome much greater difficulties than the one that we're currently in now, but we overcome it as one, together. I mean, what would your message be, not just to everyone in this room, but to Luton fans? You know, this is going to go out in multiple places. What would your message be to Luton fans for the part that they can play in these last 8 games after the international break to give us the best chance of getting out of this mess?
You know, I think that the football team, let's separate team and club. I think the football team have given you some great moments over the last few years, would you say?
Very much. Absolutely.
Promotions, Premier League.
Yeah.
Did any of you think 7 years ago you'd be in the Premier League? Don't think so. And you have done, don't you? So now the club needs you. Now they need their supporters to get behind them. Minute 1 to minute 95, 96, 97, support your team with everything you've got, even if they're shocking. So when they come off, they're not aggrieved that their support hasn't got behind them. And when they come back out for the next game, give it again. Just give it everything you've got. And that will keep the players on a higher level, knowing that if I make a mistake, no one's going to be shouting or telling me I'm useless and telling me I can't do this and can't do that. Not always easy to do, because I'm also a supporter of a club, 2 clubs. But what I'm saying is your support helped change our season when I was here. Yeah, pulling the supporter off, come in our huddle, be part of the team. All little things, you know, sometimes people don't notice, but they are so massive to players.
Let's get it right, John.
Absolutely.
Let's get it right. You're the one that changed it, because you recognised the problem and dealt with it. They're not.
No, I understand that. I understand that. But I just think that they've given you so much. The club has given you so much. The players that have played for this club through the leagues have given you so much. I don't know if you're going to stay up. I don't, right? And I can guess and I can hope and do all that. I do know that games are won and lost on inches. Seriously. Play a ball a second too quick and it's gone past someone. A second too slow, it's gone behind them. Cross the ball half a second too slow and the forward's going to run past the ball. It's all about inches. Give the boys the inches. Give them everything you've got and just hope that it all falls into place. And you know what? I think it can. So I'll tell you why. Because the supporters of this club have done it before. You can do it again.
I believe our supporters are the best supporters in the country.
I love this town. I love this town. I love this town. You know what I love about this town is actually you. Everyone in it has got this massive soul.
We're Luton people.